it's $480 million. I don't think it's moving the needle anything for Palantir, but it just shows the strength of them continuing with the government contracts and getting into, again, sort of the industrial consumer kind of space as well. That's the next step for them. But for now, Palantir just keeps on working, in my opinion. It doesn't look great on the daily chart, but it does want to hold this 20. So if we get dip buy opportunities on a positive catalyst, I think this is definitely an opportunity for me. It's in the top left of the sticky note today, and I wrote down 2080. So if we get some dip buy opportunities into that level right there, 21, I think we start buying there, look to load up at 2080, and then just, if the market is, look, we had that GDP number, and it did this. And then it started coming back in, and I was like, what, are we just gonna end where we started? Well, I mean, that's exactly what's happened over the last half hour. We've given it all back and come right here again. So I feel like the longs could be in a little bit of trouble. If you see some of these sectors over the last couple days, it's really just been NVIDIA holding up. We're probably gonna, we don't even have NVIDIA on the board, so that's probably a good thing. NVIDIA's really been holding up a lot of this market. There's been a lot in, the industrials are down. We talked about healthcare is down. Oil, energy is down. Brendan started the show with the US dollar starting to go to the downside. Yields and rates are skyrocketing right now, highest levels of the year. So I feel like the market could be in a little bit of trouble here. And if NVIDIA ever loses it, that's going to be a huge problem. So for me, just because we're talking about Palantir, I do think the market could give something up today pretty decently, and maybe we do get something in and around this 2080 area for PLTR.
Yeah, I looked at Palantir and I was like, well, 21, it closed there, and then 2 days ago, and then the high yesterday was 21. But then you looked at the daily chart of Palantir, and the 2050 is like a rising trend line of support. I feel like if we pull back in, I think that's a better place to dip by it. But the other thing on NVIDIA, just to pivot to that, because I know it's weird. We actually don't, this is the first day we don't have any of the chips there on the rundown this morning. But 2 days in a row, we've gotten to 1150 on NVIDIA without actually breaking through. There's been dips, there's been clean rips, but it ended up the same way. A pullback at the end of the day or in the afternoon, or a stall out at around 1150. If we don't make a fresh high through 1155 today, I think you're going to see a little bit of a roll at the open in this name, especially with the market pulling back in after that number. And that could put some of the names that I've liked long, well, we flipped into a long on ARM, back into the other side of this. Like if ARM loses 119 and NVIDIA fails 1150 again, ARM loses 119, I think that's got some room to the downside. You can kind of see what's been happening in ARM in the last 3 days, lower highs all the way through. So that'd be my concern. If we don't take a fresh high off the open on NVIDIA, then some things that have been strong in the chip space, like buying ARM at the open, has been more or less like gold. I mean, whether it's the dip buy in here, that when it calms down, trend up, or just the breakout right away, I'm not sure about that unless we're making fresh highs on NVIDIA. You can probably put AMD into that as well. Although with AMD, 163, I think if we have a big dip at the open, 163 and 160 would come into play as potential dip buy zones. You're kind of diddling in the middle with that one. I think it's ARM I'd be a little more interested in if we go tanking today.
Oh, man. We were just talking about UiPath. This is a weekly chart for anyone who hasn't zoomed out quite a while. I mean, all-time lows, flirting with here this morning for UiPath. I was just on Kathy's, here, I'll just bring this over. This is kathysarc.com if anyone's ever gone to this. So the purple line right now is the weight in the overall fund, which is not that exciting. But if you go to this one, the blue line is the amount of shares she currently holds, which is 18.6 million shares.
Wow.
She just added to this position 2 days ago to the tune of about 26,000. The price of the purchase is 1875. If you notice this pink dot up here, cost average, is not even on this chart. Which leads me to believe it's probably a lot higher than what that chart is showing.
Not a good look for Kathy, but
No.
she's done this before. I don't know how it's going to end up working out. All right, Aunt Kathy doing her thing. Look, this is down really because there's going to be a shift in the CEO. So current CEO Rob Enslin is out. He came in basically to boost the stock price, and that didn't happen. So in fact, the price is below the IPO when it IPO'd a few years ago. So that's the look there. He's going to be replaced by an individual by the name of Daniel Dines. He was he stepped down as co-CEO back in January 31st. So we'll have to see how the company operates under him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to short this thing this morning, you might be fighting Kathy Wood on the bid a little bit, guys.
Look on the weekly chart, it's like $10.50. If you go back to 2022, $10.50 is the absolute bottom in here. So it's kind of hard to see. It was making, I guess it was making a rounded bottom in some ways on that weekly chart. It was trying to go. This is a pure, is it going to do an SSR bounce kind of play? I think down 30% is a little bit extreme. I showed you guys a $10 level. If you think that's crazy, well, I mean, it's certainly possible. The stock was $18 yesterday. So if we get down to 10, I think that's an easy bounce off 10 and give it some risk and try and do that reversal long. Otherwise, every even dollar till then, which is really just 12 and 11. I mean, I chuckle about it, but that's the only look for me on UiPath today. And it's still a decent enough short float, but it's only like 4%. So it's nothing crazy enough that I'd want it just anywhere. You're not a 30% short float where looking for an SSR bounce is going to be gold because shorts are covering. That said, I will be involved in this if it bounces off any of the even dollar levels on UiPath. It's an ugly look. And to look at that chart and not even see the cost base on there, it kind of tells you something. But it looks like she's been trimming the position up until now at least.
All right, so listen to this. The company reported first quarter earnings of 13 cents per share, exceeding analyst expectations, positive, with quarterly sales reaching $335 million, a 16% increase year over year. So 2 for 2. The company projected second quarter revenue between 300 and 305, well below 340. So 10% down on projected revenues. Then you get the resignation of the CEO. So, you know what? I mean, those revenues are being projected based on whatever their current, model forward is. With the new CEO, hopefully they'll be able to restructure, think about possible new contracts, get this ship straighted. I mean, honestly. So at some point, UiPath is going to head back to the north side. Someone will put faith in this Danny Dimes here. Shout out to Daniel Jones. This Daniel Dimes, I don't know who's going to, I know it's Dimes, but I don't know who's going to have a job longer, this guy or Danny Dimes there as the Giants quarterback.
This guy.
He has one more year left, Daniel Dimes there over in New York. Because I guarantee you when they finish dead last, they're going to be drafting that quarterback to match up with Mr. Malik Neighbors. And then we'll see something happen over there, just like the Chicago Bears, which is now part of one of the best divisions right now in football. I can't believe I heard that on the radio yesterday. Amazing with Bears, Lions, and Packers. Vikings, and they got to get J.J. McCarthy going. But anyways, I think UiPath right here, 13. I think you want to buy this break of 13.20. That's just sort of the pre-market dark pool levels. We talk about that all the time. But for now, it's probably going to get hit to the downside just because of this number. But I could see a bounce for sure, and I don't think you want to miss it. So I'm going to try to have it up. I feel like it's going to be real dangerous real early. But if you wanted to go long now, honestly, against this bottom of like 1260, push it down here to 1240, 1230, I don't think that's horrible. Give yourself 50 cents. I mean, the break I'm looking for is 50 cents higher from here. So I think you can get to that, which puts it 1-to-1. I think UiPath here is actually a decent risk to reward to go long immediately. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I mean, if you have a stop, you take 200 shares here and you lose 50 cents, it's $100. It's sure, it could be a lot, but at the end of the day, if this name goes, you could have $2 or $3 in your pocket. So it could be a decent risk to reward ratio here for UiPath, but waits to be seen. Before I go back to the desk, we only have one more thing to go here. I just want to show everybody that it does have, and I didn't look at this yet. This is the first time I looked at this. It is the largest. So there's Palantir on the watch, BlackBerry for some reason. Did they report? UiPath is there as well, and there's CRM. So we're definitely going over many names here that are going to be in play early. So next up, PayPal, finally with an upgrade.
Yeah, a little bit of one of those context is key, I guess, kind of moments. Here's the weekly chart. Every time I pull up PayPal, I always go out to the weekly chart just to remind Where it's been, where it's come from. Long way down. But if you zoom in this morning, yeah, pretty good look here. 2.5% back higher, back above 62.5, 62.60. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, Mizuho with a positive note this morning, upgrading to a buy and raising their price target to $90. Pretty good jump there.
Yeah, not a bad. That's a 47.5% potential upside premium there if it reaches that level. 21 of 41 brokerages rate this as a buy or higher. 26 have it as a hold. There's this other headline over here. This came in yesterday. PayPal USD stablecoin now available on the Solana blockchain. Not sure that that's market moving, but I thought I'd mention that to you guys.
I mean,
PayPal stablecoin.
yeah, that's probably not that big of a deal. I mean, you finally get an upgrade, that's good, but it's been making higher lows since the middle of since this year, but the bottom was middle of last year. And then there is your first higher low, another one up here, and a double bottom at 61. Do we see 61 today? I'm inclined to think not. So like that's your 61 where it bottomed out yesterday. That's exactly where you want the support to be. That's where it was on the daily. Just don't see anything obvious unless this is taken out like 63.5. So it's either extreme dip or breakout 63.5. I don't think there's much in between. I knew this would happen. Like CGC was not moving before. I just confirmed. Brendan just mentioned the call is at 10 o'clock for CGC. I thought maybe the call had already been on, and that's why it did a little bit of a breakout. So it took out yesterday's highs. These guys reported as well. For now, putting in a higher low. But alert, the call is at 10 o'clock. Just be careful with it. Don't mind when these things try to go and try to squeeze, and on earnings, it can be a good one as well. Dan McIsaac just mentioned or reminded everybody, Disney's right in front of the $100 level. Nelson Peltz is gone. He's sold all of his shares, and 100 has been pretty big support. Okay, it was a big breakout level, and then it's bounced a couple of times off 100. Being only here a week, it's hard for me to call it big support, but it's been support for the last week on Disney. If Disney loses 100, the 200 period's at 97. So I would think underneath that, trend down gives you a couple of dollars. It's worth it being on the radar. There's no particular catalyst for it, however, so it's not nearly at the top of the list. I mean, Tesla's going to be much more interesting. We mentioned UiPath, CRM could SSR bounce, C3 AI has a chance to break out if it can get above the $27 level. There's a lot to dig into and to look at today. That ASTS from the afternoon yesterday got to $10. It's pulling right back into the 9 level where it broke out late in the day. Like if this can hold on to 9, it might have a secondary rally in it as well. So there's a lot to look at without automatically putting some stop break on Disney underneath 100. I think there'll be time for that one. Plus we have a kind of strong open to the market as well.
So right here, the sticky note today, we do have PayPal upgraded 61.50 with that support. So I like PayPal here. We got it written right down here. I like the stock down at these levels. I like the upgrade. I actually like that stablecoin news. And by the way, I have to shout out to my good friend Nimit, because yesterday, he's in Singapore. Yesterday, we had talked about on the after show, I had Trader Tammy on, and she's in Georgia. And she was telling me, we're talking about food, of course, because, that's what we do on the Market Recap show. I asked her what some of her favorite dishes were and so on and so forth. And then she mentioned that down there in Georgia, they've got some great shrimp there. She's on some small island. And so I told her, I'm definitely coming down there. We're going to be having some shrimp and grits. She's getting ready to go. Get that Barbie all fired up. Let's go. And then I reminded myself that the best shrimp I actually ever had was when I was in Singapore. And for Real Trading, over there opening up offices, this is about 15 years ago when I was my younger self running around the world for this place, opening up offices, and that was a trip, man. I love that, and Singapore, shout out to Nimit, he hit me up there today, and now we've got an invite to Singapore, so that should be fun. Hey, Nimit, I'm going to bring Adara. She was on the show too. She was talking about not being in Singapore as well. So when we go there for the Trader TV meetup in Singapore, we'll hit that up. So there it is right there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, at the after show. There you go. Yeah, you're right, Hamster One. He's live right now. Nimit, you're probably in the chat. I mean, the guy's slipped into my DMs. There. So I like 61.50, long story short, on PayPal. I like this level down here. I think the stablecoin's a good story because, hey, maybe you can sort of get around transaction fees, because if I'm paying someone PayPal to PayPal, potentially we could just do it over Solana, and maybe it would be cheaper using the stablecoin. So I could see some kind of possibilities there. Interesting that they're working on that. Congrats on that. I'm already bidding PayPal 6150 over to Sharif.
Guys, we're talking about the futures all week long. Today, we'll be getting a bit more nuance. We'll be talking about the different futures that you can trade, the Q, the ES, the triple Qs, the T triple Qs, yes, and that shorted triple times levered S triple Qs. Catch that with Adair and I on How to Trade at 11.
Thank you very much.
Nimit in the chat there. Nimit in the chat.
What up, Nimit? We got
He's awake and he's a week.
less than a minute to go in here, everybody. Let's get this party started. The market's back to where it was pretty much, like right where we were when the number came out, pretty much in the middle. Robinhood, by the way, also making a bit of a move here, trying to break out this 2150. It made a couple of attempts the last couple of days. If it holds that at the open, I think we got some serious room to the upside. Tesla with some positive news, hopefully getting their FSD going in China. 178 could come in very quickly at the open. The 180 break also in play. Keep in mind, you got a bunch of potential SSR bounces. CRM now within $4 of the 220 level, and UiPath getting close to $12.50. We didn't even talk about Kohl's. Kohl's is down 20%. That can be in play as well for an SSR bounce. Let's go, Adara, in 4,
Market is open.
3, 2, and 1. Ring it.
All right, we didn't get to this, but we talked about, I want to talk about Google at 175, but it's already at 175 and absolutely tanking. Like, I thought this Google had a chance to hold this level when we were up here at 176, but maybe it's a 175 short. We didn't put any bids on this at all as we're starting to get lower here on Google. Potentially some kind of a bottom in and around 174-ish, but Google right now taking out some of these levels right now and starting to go lower. So as the market opens up to a nice little push downside here, Amazon 180 I wanted to look at. That's coming in as well a little bit now. So calm down a little bit and let's wait to see what happens. Palantir on the dip as well now.
Yeah, AI is not open yet. CRM is not open yet. So you got to wait for these to open. Tesla did make an initial bounce off 178, pushing to 179 here.
Really?
I mean, it's NASDAQ,
No.
it's NASDAQ, so it's already open. 179.5. So 180 is a big level. I think it's a break on its own, 178 to 180, and then I look for a break at 180 as a separate trade. I think CRM's now open. CRM, yeah, it's opened up and looks like it's headed right for that 220 level pretty darn quick here. So we want to be involved in that one if it bounces off 220. Quickly double checking UiPath, which is also open and headed down for $12 even. So Path headed for the first even dollar to the downside. So is CRM, but Path is getting there faster, it looks like.
Okay, so we put on some shares here on Tesla. Yeah, we are bidding 178.05. So that went down to 178.17, and of course I was looking at Palantir, which just dipped in. And again, you know where we're bidding? We're bidding 05s on Palantir. I can't make this stuff up. It goes to 07s right now, so I put that bid a little bit higher right now on Palantir. So in and around 2110 right now, but there it goes, a complete turnaround now as Tesla's going southbound on us. So nice move back into 178 for sure, but there's Tesla starting to go lower right now in through 178. We should be long here. Instead we're long at 178.60 and we just missed that dip buy in. We did get something.
I missed it too.
We got something at 178.05. We get it again right now. So now we're gonna have to wait as it's coming back in pretty good here. That's Tesla not doing what I thought it would do early, hitting downside right now, TSLA.
Yeah, it was quickly looking good, and now Tesla not looking so great. My eyeballs are really clued in on this 12 level on UiPath. It looks like we're going to get it. The 50 is about to go.
Wow.
50 just broke on Tesla.
Yeah, it's gone.
So that's absolutely gone. The market's not doing a heck of a lot, so it seems like Tesla just not working. I'm going to slap the fail on that. UiPath is still at that $12 level, really close. I want to see it make a bottom down here, and then I want to try this SSR bounce. It's not often you get a stock down 30% for a play like this. Actually, it's pretty much never. Let's respect it. CRM does not get to 220. That would have been the other one. It's now at 225, so that's already catching a bid on CRM.
All right, so we had a little different strategy. We held on to Tesla a little bit here. So we're long at 178.30 right now. We did take something out at 178, but let's see if Tesla really wants to go. I mean, this is the level that we wanted to support. We're not, oh shit. We're not trying to set the world on fire here. We're just trying to make good trades. So let's wait to see what happens. We're now in the money, obviously, on Tesla. P&L positive name for us. There it goes. F that. Let's go, Tesla. Right there. Nice move, guys, on that name, man. We put down 178, and we sat in that one trade right now, 178 long. It's going to be a doozy of a trade there, but it needs to go up a little bit higher. That was much. Okay, here we go. We are loaded, locked and loaded right now on Tesla. So far, so good right now. Palantir, we did miss. So we missed that bottom there on Palantir. Let's see if that goes. But for right now, we're on cloud 9 with Tesla, and it's moving exactly as prescribed down there, down into 178. Little bit of a bottom at 177.
Executed.
Now we're starting to go upside here. It's a big one. It's going to be a monster. Let's hope for Tesla. Google trying to find a base as well, but right now you can see what we're doing. It's some damage here on TSLA for now, but let's not get too greedy. The market is tanking.
The market's going down. NVIDIA just gave up again at 11:55 exactly. It just tanked into the downside. I got to go get some arm shorts. I'm into, for the first time, UiPath. It just made its first bounce. It's going to be really hard to see. Off of 12, it got above the 25s, so I took the long. I'll give it to the local bottom, and then we'll see where it goes. CRM is also headed down to 220 even, but let me just get my arm locates. I want to make sure we have this one locked and loaded, because if we cannot hold 11, if we don't hold 1150 on NVIDIA, I said I wanted arm short, and that was going to be the one. It just made a big move up and lower highs the last couple of days, so I like that wick top. Going to look to engage in some arm short off of the 122 level just in here. It's 1/8 of 1 cent per share, but we're just getting them now.
Guys, what are we even doing? There's Amazon right here, 180 long. We wrote it, I mean, it's a sticky no level. So right now, the sticky no levels are Tesla long 178. That's at 178.70 right now. Amazon long is 180. That's at 180.50 right now. Unfortunately, Amazon doesn't get down. It only goes as low as 180.14. So let's take out just another little piece here. We'll take out another 10% of what we have left and watch this name hopefully get back there up to the upside. But the thing is, the market is really starting to get low. So we got to watch out for this. I mean, 18.7, this is getting to be close. Amazon's doing the work now, holding up for now. Will it hold out for a while? I'm not too sure. Tesla's been bouncing here again. We could try a little bit more here at 178. Let's try a little bit more because we were able to get some out on the upside of that. We just have to be right on this name, and who knows. But there, we did hold that 177. That's probably a dropout zone
Executed.
for me. We could be wrong on something. Let's just not be wrong for too long. And there's the dip buy here on Palantir. So let's see what this one wants to hold. We've talked about this name being difficult to trade when it does have news. So Palantir dancing around here. What's up, Adara?
Another earnings name here to watch out for, HPQ. HP did report last night. They did beat across the board. Right now, up about 10%. Nice look as well here on the daily chart for HPQ, guys.
You know all about HPQ and Dell. Dell was the bigger one, obviously, yesterday, along with ANF. And by the way, Path broke 12. We're out when it broke that 12 level.
Yeah.
And if it can hold 12 again, I might take a second shot. Otherwise, we wait for a new fresh low. CRM has not gotten to the bottom yet. Dell's down 5% and continuing to tank. I just got into ARM after paying for the locates. And I'll show you NVIDIA right here. As long as NVIDIA holds underneath 1155, I want to be in the short on ARM. So that's headed to the downside as well. CRM starting to come
we are
in
monstrous.
to 220 here. This is the next one into the downside.
Oh my God, right now. We are monstrous on the reload of Tesla. Man, this honestly, this new style of trading is really like, I am loving it because we just had watched that 178 come in. It came in again, right back up today's high. Let's just hold on to this and make today's special. All right, so that's going to be a good one. Today's special, that's a good old show. If you guys have watched that, today's special. All right, I think it's Canadian, but all right, here we go. 179.17, let's go. It's dollars, it's dollars, it's dollars. It is a good trade here with Tesla. It is going to be I mean, we don't need to tell you that. It's going to be a big one here. We're going to go 3 for 3 right now. We've got Palantir. Look where we're long Palantir. We also said we're buying 2110s, right? We said that. We were waiting at 2105. We canceled that. We went to 10s. Boom goes the dynamite on that one. That's 1 for 1. So that's 1 for 1 right there. Tesla, come on. We'll stop talking about it. Amazon right now, 30 cents in the money and going to its highest spot right now as well. So, hey, once again, man, we'll start the day 3 for 3. Let's see if we can keep that momentum riding. What's up, Charlie? What's up to everybody else that's in the chat right there? Hashtag real trading up right now. Amazon long, Tesla long, Palantir long.
Yeah, look out for us. Wow, holy pounds. Where's Palantir at?
No, it's not that great. 21.20 right now.
All right, so we're at 2020. This is the level we said we're going to wait for on CRM. It just got to 220.20 even with a little bit of a bounce. If it gets through 21, we'll take this to the local bottom on CRM. Let's just get into it with a 21 break here. I don't want to chase too far. We don't want to risk more than like $1 and change. So I'm on the bid of 221 trying to get into this sucker off the SSR bounce, but I'm not chasing it. We're just sitting on the bid right here trying to tag this one in. Looks like we're not going to get it. I did get in, but I had to stop. That immediately took me out because I had it mispriced. I tried to jump back in at 21s, but this one is now on the recovery back into the upside. Still a chance it can put in a higher low, which we also like on CRM. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's going to be clean. UiPath was not clean for the SSR bounce. It broke back up through 3s. It did not hold 12. If it holds a higher low and breaks back above 12, I will take a secondary shot at this name, as both paths, this KSS and CRM were the 3 that we like for SSR bounces. KSS did bounce off the $20 level clean, and it's the one that I didn't want to take. So we're looking at CRM and might have just missed our chance at the 220 level on CRM.
Adara?
You got to be kidding me. Adara?
Yep.
Watch out for one MedNet Corp here. ONMD, this one, as you can see here in the daily chart, has been running the last few days. Getting a nice little volume pop here off opening, currently up about 60%, announcing that it's entered into a non-exclusive 3-year master services agreement with an undisclosed U.S. medical tech company. So nice look for ONMD, guys.
And all right.
Bye-bye, CRM.
I was just going to say, I mean, I hope everybody's checking out our sticky note, because honestly, it's putting work into this, and just being able to sit here and trade off of it is really Tesla 178 long. We've talked about that trade already. There's your Amazon long at 180. Google crashed into that level, so we didn't have any chance with that. So we're going to look at that again. We'll check out PayPal, and we'll check out some Palantir. We're already long Palantir right now, just a dime. That's not moving that much right there. Someone slid into those DMs there again, I saw. All right, so here we go. I'm going to, what was that high here on PLTR? 30? What? I didn't have an offer up there when you just went up there? Okay, well, we just went to 20s and change, so let's put another offer here. I thought I was waiting somewhere there, but I was not. There we go. We'll take some out at 20. We'll go bang on that one. Just a small petit put there. But here we go. It is Tesla right back at that dollar level. Let's just put another dollar in. Let's take some more out right now. We still have half of our position on Tesla, and it's been a multiple reload, because, I mean, you got to stay in with what you're doing, man. You got to stay strong and trade the names that you trade. And this has been a good one for me here today. It's Tesla, and there it goes, man. What's up, Kevin Mendoza? You want the bangers? Honestly, I mean, we just took this out at 179.25 on a bump rate up there on Tesla. So this is about as bangerific as you can get on a day like today. So there it goes, man. It's a big one. It's Tesla. It's a monster. Amazon's doing well. Palantir's doing well. We're just going to sit in this, but we're starting to get some more out. Nice move to the upside. This is what I do sometimes. We get these monster winners on, and then we just kind of let them bleed back in. So we're going to have to start taking some more profit and not think that, hey, every stock we're looking at has rose-colored glasses. We got to make sure that we're trading it accordingly and properly. That CRM down there, again, 222 could be something.
Yeah, if you trade at Real Trading, you'll know the stop order that I'm talking about when I get over to CRM and why I made a keystroke error with it. But very quickly before we go to Adara, the 55 broke on NVIDIA, went up to 58s. I got 57.5 on that triple top break, but it immediately rejected the level and came right back in. So you're right back underneath 1150. I think that's going to put some of those short plays back in play for the chips, as long as we're not holding this level on NVIDIA. But I want to see it bounce off 1150 if it can, and then look for longs if it holds this higher low on NVDA. Let's go to Adara.
Another earnings name on watch here. Not as much volume on this one as some of these other names, but Best Buy, BBY here still to the upside about 12.5%. EPS beat and revenue miss, but some strong outlook here and comments from the CEO. BBY to the upside here for Best Buy, guys.
You know what, Best Buy? I wanted to actually look at Best Buy because I do think that they're, let's go, Tesla. I did want to look at Best Buy because there is that computer revolution that's coming, honestly, like a super cycle, where I think that with AI and with everything that's going to be built into these computers, stuff that Apple's going to be talking about, I just, I really think even Oculus and things like that, like there are computer applications in all of this. I mean, my kids are on, well, my son specifically, on Oculus all the time. But Best Buy, wow. What a quarter, man. This is 5% yield or something like that as well. So Best Buy definitely working it out, man. I wish I would have bought some of that. I had thought about this a couple days ago, and I wanted to wait for earnings, so it's a good thing you brought that up. But Best Buy, wow, absolutely insane stock right there. And we just got it on Palantir, so we'll just go hot dog cannon today. You can tell. I mean, look at our trading, different styles, different stocks, different levels. It's tough, man. Some days we'll all be up, Neil be down, both up, both down, up, down, and around. You got to be able to figure out what your style is and stick with it. And I'm really happy that we've been able to find ours. I mean, it's led us to this 3-for-3 action here today. And some days we'll go Redsville, but when it works out pretty good. So like, look at this Amazon trade. Now it's almost, it's at VWAP again. Whoops. You see, this is the benefit of only having a few trades, in my opinion, because like I should be getting some out there. So I just looked at it, offered it, boom, out, right into VWAP. So right there, take another piece out because we just come back in 80 cents from that bottom. So good little level there. Trying to do the same work here on Tesla. Tesla looks like it is struggling at 179, but there we go. Struggle no longer, my friend, because that is one of these kind of trades, man. Get that all ready to go, man. Get it gassed up, get it washed. It's Lambo time. Shout out to you, Mr. Kevin Mendoza, who always wants these big trades. What else can we do? This is $1.90 now in the money off a $1.90 went 50 cents against me. There it is right there. It is your sticky note. It is the trade of the day. It's Tesla. Or do you like Amazon, or do you like Palantir better? So far, so good here. Nice move up for Tesla. I'm going to take another piece out.
So I just got in and out of ARM. I'll get to that in a second. It made about 80 pennies, but I'm laser focused on UiPath right now. That's going to be the one. Dell is dumping. I understand that. That's not a stock that I'm necessarily looking at, but it is a big reversal, and the bounce on NVIDIA is happening off of 1150. So you got higher lows on NVIDIA. We had the breakout trade. The reason I just punched out of ARM short at 22s was NVIDIA bouncing off of VWAP. I said as long as we're rejecting this and looking weak, I wanted to be short ARM. But the second you get back into this upside, I want to be going on the long train on NVDA. CRM is right back to 220 as well. So let's put that one back into the pocket. We did miss the bounce. I'll get to this one in a second. When things calm down, that was an absolute keystroke. We got the bounce at 220 that we're looking for, but we had a stop and it was misplaced, so I got out instantly. That's obviously going to be a $2 winner. If you had it, good on you. I made the accidental keystroke out. Path is at 1198. If it breaks back above 12, I'm looking for a higher low to get back into it. But a secondary bounce here on CRM off 220. I never like a trade off the same level the same way I would the first time through. So this is like a secondary bounce. I would take it for less, and I would expect less back into the upside on Salesforce. But it is an SSR bounce play here on CRM. The 180 break, like I said for Tesla, everyone's going to trade their own style. Like some days good, some days bad. But for me, if I'm taking that long, I'm not holding it. It went all the way down to 177.20, which is $1 against. It's now getting that breakout into 180. It still sets up for a dip buy. VWAP is not going to be into the pocket just yet, but the 180 break is in play. CRM's 20 cents in the money, but I'm thinking dollars, not cents on Salesforce. So there's your 180. No bids above yet. I want to see the bids start to hold this one. Back and forth, back and forth. They're still not holding bids above 180. The spread is opening up 5-10 cents at times here. But the bids are definitely not holding on to the 180 level, so I'm not really seeing the breakout just yet on Tesla. If I see like some bids at like 10 and really starting to go, that's when I'll like it. Gonna get an offer here on CRM above 221 just to make sure that we get a little something out if it gets halfway into VWAP. Always looking for a VWAP retracement when we get any kind of a play on an SSR bounce. So that looks like it's gonna be happening anytime soon. Now you're getting some bids above on Tesla. Just hold 5s or something, and I'll get long. There we go. Someone just stepped up out in front of the 5s, so I'm going to take a shot, giving it back into the 50s. We also have, I heard something on Faraday Futures, and I know some people are looking at GameStop. This is the first day I didn't even pay for locates on GameStop today. Wasn't even looking at it at all. I know FFIE was in the news because of that offering. I said 25 cents on FFIE. We're not going to see 25 cents on that sucker. It's already starting to bounce. I was looking for a bounce play, but obviously it was just way too early for me to be looking at this one for a long. And now you're seeing the breakout up 36%, running for highs. Just remember what happened to this stock yesterday with the offering. It was pretty much right here at the 65 level that it ran into trouble.
We just went to go get a coffee. Oh, he already knows. You might want to hit that 3 times though. There's Tesla now, 250 in the money right now. Palantir is doing its damn thing. Oh man. You know, the Blue Jays sweep. We got the hat on. Jeez. It's my wife's birthday today. Happy birthday. All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about? So far, so good. NIO. We can look at NIO. Look, I don't have any plans to really. We still have a decent spot on here right now for Tesla. So we can hold on to this, man. There's that 180 break, and it's funny because it's exactly what we talked about on here. Hold this 170 for a possible 180 break. I don't know. What else? But right there, why the slaps? Yeah, I don't know why the slaps. I like the slap one here. You want another one? Let's go Brendan Goat. Right now, this is the way trading's supposed to be for me. Is just calm down, take the trades, put them on, trust your levels. You know, be the trader that you want to be. You know, and then there it is right here. Let's get out some more Amazon at 181 again because we're looking at the screen here and seeing that it is at VWAP again. So there we go, man. 3 for 3 action. Make sure that everybody, if you want more realness, I mean, this Freedom and Wealth podcast, this is kind of like you're getting in Bitcoin, right? This is like Bitcoin $100 right now. You know, like you get to be part of something at the beginning before it blows up. So join me, Brendo, and all of our guests coming through on Freedom and Wealth podcast. So join us there. Perhaps we'll do a little bit of a promo later on, but this is going to be a big one. We're looking to launch it. I'm thinking soon, but we're editing it up. We're going to get the best quality, the best everything with it. Freedom and Wealth podcast. Bears versus Bulls, probably already got that in the, look at this guy. Look at this guy, Bears versus Bulls. Look at this guy. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls right now, man. I mean, he's already got it in the chat, so make sure you go click that up. Be one of the first subscribers to that. Get notified when we're live and in color. So is it? Yeah, it's black and white. No, it's in color. All right, there we go. Tesla, we got out some at 180. We got out some more there at 180 and getting lighter and lighter on this one. But obviously, we're in a great mood here today. It's the weather is lovely outside. Things are starting to hit for us. The market is pretty flat. And thank you so much, Nick, for the subscription there. And thank you to everybody as well. What's up to Adam DeLuce? And again, this is the trading right here today. Go 3 for 3 on your posted ideas and be able to put on some shares and really make it something. So happy so far today, but damage still needs to be put on, man. It's only 9:52. So, more to come.
Yeah, there's definitely more to come. Not with the market yet. I mean, the market's still in the exact same range. I guess I just reloaded CRM exactly at, it bounced exactly at 220. I got 220.20. My average price now going to be 35, but the 20 level is holding on CRM. It's still lower highs. The first time gave you $2. I'm not necessarily expecting we're getting that, so I've already scalped some out. We're going to scalp more at 221.5. Tesla's still holding the top end of the range. If it makes another high, it just did. We're going to go to Adara, but I said if Tesla makes another high and the bids start holding above 180, then I would wait for the second level and play it off the second level. So it's held 180. I'm going to give it to 179.5. For my style, obviously it's going to be an early loss on that. I'm going to get some out at the 50s. CRM just took 221.5 as well. It is 9:52. Let's go to Adara.
Small cap earnings name to keep an eye out here for AMSC. This is American Superconductor. They're up about 28% right now on an earnings beat and higher than expected Q1 2024 projection. So nice look here for AMSC, market cap around $500 million, guys.
Oh man, I was just talking with the Silverback legend back here, and he was talking to me all about Tesla. Man, he's like he was loving the posted 180 level here, but again, you know, we're loving that level as well. Remember, we told you to hit it 3 times. That was when it was at $2.25. Hit it again, Fabian. I mean, right now, yeah, sure. You got to have confidence. Yes, exactly. Good call right there, right now. So that's going to be a good one right here. As Amazon goes $1, Palantir is just chilling, but it's all about Tesla. It is the #1 idea, and we did have tons of confidence on this one. So much that we held it an amazing 50 cents against us to now be $3.50 in the money, right? And so again, it's about share size. It's about trying to hold on, and you can get railroaded if it goes to the downside, which is why you have to make money when this is what's happening right now. So it's going to be, oh man, just a pretty good feeling today heading into the Thursday, and then tomorrow we've got Jeff Mendel coming through. We're gonna be golfing in the afternoon. That should be a lot of fun. Get ready for Obi tomorrow afternoon. It's just gonna be a great weekend. We've got Little League tonight when your second place Jets will face the first place Bisons, which we've already beaten this year. I'm not sure we'll win today. I gotta rest my #1 arm today, which is fine. We'll do that, and we're ready to go. The girls rep team is ready to go. We have our first practice as an official team there on Saturday and Sunday. We've got the doubleheader going there. We've got games lined up. We're ready to go. My daughter was on the ice this morning at 6:15. She got her skates profiled. We picked up those pucks. Oh, by the way, we got a nice deal on those pucks. Hold on, let me show it to you here. I posted it up on, let's save that on here. Posted that up yesterday. We now have 85 pucks right here. Where is it? What's up, CRM? There it is right here. So she fires this off. There's the net in the background there on my backyard. So there they are all lined up. She likes this one. This is like an indoor puck. But anyways, fired them off right into there. Boom. She's done, I think, 1,700 shots now in 3 weeks. So she's trying to get to 20,000. And then she had that practice earlier. So there it is, man. Tesla is really, guys, honestly, to talk about this as being PL1 would be silly, but it's just continuously going up now to 180. So again, we should have added, I know Neil punched it there at 180. That was a good trade. Definitely should have added some more in hindsight where it is right now. But we're really happy with what we've done on this one, been able to hold it for this upside move. And then almost out of everything on Palantir. We have 20% left of everything. So Palantir, Amazon, and Tesla, and we're feeling pretty good here today.
Yeah, well, it just stalled at 181 on Tesla. That's the only downside. But I want to see it bounce off 180. It might be a reload at that particular price, but you have to see it happen first. The pre-market high is way back here at 179.5, and VWAP's at 179. All reasonable spots for a bounce. So if we do continue this in the market, which is heading lower, I think you got to be a little bit careful where you want to dip buy something. Just got into, I said UiPath gets back to 12 even. We would take a shot off the local high. So there's local low. This is the higher low there at 1190. That's what I want to give it to. So we have the 12. We're giving it to 1190. I think this is a name that if it does bounce, you got to be thinking $50, like that kind of thing. Can be a little bit bigger, but these are all bleeding. We got to have your out. We held to 220 on CRM. Our only bounce play got to 221, but it's right back through the lows. I don't have any obvious levels on CRM unless you're talking 15s, 10s, things like that. Lucy's back over $1. I don't have locates on this, but look at the hold at $1. Probably going to be involved if it bounces off $1, but I think that ship might have sailed. So if anybody's in Lucy, congratulations. This one back to a $1. I do have FFIE. And another name we forgot to mention, well, at least we did mention it, not cost. It's KSS. The SSR bounce that we don't take gives you 20 to 21. I'm not as keen on taking this the second time through or even the third time through if it bounces off of 20. If this loses 20, it could get nasty. KSS does have a huge short float. Of these names, UiPath, CRM, it's Kohl's that has the biggest short float. So you would expect it could have the best bounce.
All right. Yeah, so I like that idea with UiPath. So we're getting ready to go long, breaking through 12 as well. I mean, that bottom of 1180 is pretty darn good. So, you know, if you're going to be a risk to reward kind of trader, this is a no-brainer again, because 20 cents to the bottom I mean, you have an opportunity here, as Neil mentioned, $1, $1.50, $2, something like that to the upside, if not even more than that. But you for sure have 50 cents. I mean, get back to this level on a break right now. I just hope we get shares. Okay, so I'm waiting for 1202. I put in as a trigger, I believe, right there. So we don't get in on that 12 break. We're waiting for 1202. So I'm actually glad that happened right now, right in front of everybody, because first of all, I'm gonna get another piece out at 181. There it is. Again, let's just go Yahoo. Because there's Tesla, man. It's 350 in the money. Let's take out another piece. I mean, silly not to do that. As it is really, really running. The name that's not running so much is going to be Amazon, but we'll put a piece out here on AMZN and get out of that one right now. But that was a good trade for us. And then, yeah, I don't want to forget Path. So UiPath, obviously, once we get triggered into it, I'll see it. So it'll be hard to forgive and forget. But there it is. We just got in now. So I guess it must have broke.
No, it didn't.
Okay, we got 201.05.
Yeah, it didn't break.
So, all right. Well, yeah, it doesn't. We could offer and get out now. All right, let's just, because it went back under, but it didn't. I'm just trying to watch this. So we are long right now at 1201. I said 201, sorry, 1201. So right now we're long this name. I feel like we could just put a stop at 11. Let's go. I mean, 80 is the bottom. If it breaks it, probably people mark it out. Let's just try 74. All right, get out of it all. And we'll put another bid in and around there. So again, that was definitely a failed break. I am deciding maybe to get out of this even right now. But we've had such a good day, we could probably afford to hold on to this. I know that's not the way, I know that's not the way you're supposed to trade, but there's a size right now. All right, what's up? Did I hear that call for Adara? All right, what's up? I did not.
We're waiting for some pending home sales numbers month over month and year over year coming in. So month over month, negative 7.7%. So quite a bit lower here than the consensus of negative 0.6 and forecast of negative 0.1. Last month's numbers did get revised here to negative 3.6 as well. So let's see, look for that year over year number. Right now, we do have as well here the SPY kind of continuing to top and turn in this range, slightly down here on the day. For the pending homes index, we're getting 72.3, so lower here than the 8.2 estimate. So generally here, both for the pending home sales change month over month and the index, both going to be lower here than expected. In terms of some names to keep an eye out for, we do have a lot of retail earnings. Foot Locker here is one of them, FL. They did beat across the board, up at 1.30% now, but 27% to the upside. We have another earnings name here as well, HPQ or HP Inc. This one here up about 12%. They did beat across the board as well. So some earnings names to keep an eye on. What's been a pretty interesting morning so far, guys?
Yeah, that's the largest drop in 3 years for pending home sales. So that's obviously not good. Yeah, I mean,
that's great.
Am I telling you guys something we can't hold under? That's not good. Anytime you hear the largest in, and it's like X number of years, no, not good at all. I got Lucy at 6. I should have 3s, not 6s.
It's great for the market, though, that number. Because now all of a sudden you have huge pending home sales to the downside.
Yeah,
so hopefully they'll be figuring out that, hey, maybe it's because freaking mortgages are at 8%.
You've got to have more reasonable.
By the way, UiPath, let's go. Can we go 4 for 4 today? Can we? I mean, we just got a piece out right now at 9s or 10s, and there goes UiPath right now. Let's go. I mean, our risk was 20 cents. We talked, well, actually, sorry, we put it in, sorry. Our risk is 25 cents. So if we can get this going up, even just a little bit, let's take out a piece now at 16 if we can get that, and then just go with it, because right now it's UiPath, and it is fantastic for that long break through 12 bucks. And again, the best part about it being $12 is I don't care what position you're in behind us. You could take a lot of shares if you like that break. So, you know, whether or not you took 1,000 shares there and you made 10 cents, that's $100. You know, whether or not you took 50 shares, whatever you want to do, I think that's a good exercise right there. In a break long over $12 on a stock that's clearly down, held a level, found the support, found the resistance, and then broke it. So that's the thing right there. 12 bucks, it was hovering there for minutes, right? Broke it once, came back, held again, broke it twice. I think it's worth the try. We're only out of 15% of this. We wanted obviously more. We're trying to go at least 1-to-1 on this kind of a name, but I think it's well worth it here. As you know, we've done well today, so we're just kind of like parlaying it up. You know what I'm saying? Parlay. So put that in there, roll it forward, and see if we can get a little bit of action here on UiPath. Today, everybody, is a good day. I'm going to message my wife again.
Yeah, make sure you say happy birthday to the entire family. The Trade TV Live family. I know you guys have been saying in the chat. Sometimes Marissa's in the chat, but if she's not, then make sure she knows
walking
from us.
the dog.
So just a couple of things. Look, Lucy it's a dollar stock, so if it pulls back 10%, it could go into a halt down, meaning if I'm long in front of $1 and I have a stop at $1, as it goes higher, I'm always going to move my trail up here a little bit. So I'm going to give it now to probably the 110 area as you're seeing it start to go a little bit parabolic to the upside on Lucy. So Lucy finally coming home to $1.25. Just keep in mind it's been rejecting this dollar the last couple of days with a 135 top. So the plan of action, be holding long into the break so that I don't have to have the break. I can try to hold a piece of this trade through 135 just in case it goes to like 150 or 2. But I'm not taking a top break on this stock. That has been abject disaster if you've been trading top breaks on Lucy. Rather trade off the dollar level. UiPath, I'm out now of, actually I'm only out of 20%. As it gets to VWAP, but what happens at VWAP for me on an SSR bounce play is I'm going to have my stop at the higher low. So no longer giving it to the bottom, giving it to the higher low on UiPath. Obviously, it's a nasty name and a nasty move for them, but the bounce play can work. I have offers above VWAP. We'll look to hold some for pre-market highs, I think, is not unreasonable. If it holds VWAP, I think you could see like 60s into 13s. So you want a piece on board for that dream. And as I said on Lucy, I'm not going to get caught in a down halt on this stock. So if it breaks 110 or I see it going into a halt and I'm not stopped out, I'm probably just going to punch out. You might have another shot at the dollar hold if you get another chance. There was one opportunity to maybe reload Tesla, but it wasn't at 180 bucks. It was at we had a wick down here underneath 180 and a half, but it was pretty thin. Didn't really give you a solid bid down there, so I missed my chance to add. That would have been a rebuy because I was scalping it out. Now we're just holding for 83s on this one. So 83 up here. That's it. Like a couple of days ago, last week, I guess you should say, 183 was resistance. You had 182 and a half as well. That's what we'll shoot for on Tesla. Oh my goodness, C3AI, I totally forgot about you. It's above 27.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
there was.
this is probably a long.
We talked about some traps and everything like that. But you know what, Fabian? Remember you hit it when it was $2 and I was like, yo, dude, what are you doing? And then you hit it for $3? Hit it 4 times now. We are 4 in the money right now on the Dollar Club. This has just been, honestly, I just told my wife happy birthday again and thanks for this because we're having our best day of the month here again. So, you know, hopefully it'll help with the dinner tonight, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll have a couple bottles of Chianti there, and then tomorrow will be even funner here live on the show. But there it is right there, $4 in the money. We're almost out of it. We only held 20%. We got something out at 180.50. We got something out at 181, and then there it is, man. And again, if you're like, what is this guy talking about? It's just Sticky Note Nation, and I feel like there's already a lot of people that are part of this. Keep hitting this. Me and Fabian just keep hitting it. But there it is right there. This is what we're talking about. Every day I post this up there. Today, 4,000 views. Thank you for that. But right there, it's Tesla. We like it. Full self-drive in China. I said today there's not one better catalyst that I saw in any of my ideas. So I really liked it. We hit it there. We hit the Amazon long. Actually, I haven't looked back at Google. Palantir's been also a doozy right there. And then UiPath right now, we wait for that. As PayPal, we haven't checked back on either. We do have a bid lower on PayPal. Let me just check out. Look, Tesla is what it is, man. That's going to be moonshot right there on Tesla. All right, PayPal, just quickly. I like the upgrade there. It's probably... All right, so we don't even get through 62. I was going to say it's probably bounced off something. Looks like 62 was the bottom there. Good little level for the 200 period. Really just starting to go right now. So like if I looked at this 10 minutes ago, I would have been like, meh. But right now it is starting to go upside. So maybe a pullback to 62.50 could be something. Oh, man, we're about to go 5 right now on Tesla. Mr. Mendoza, everybody there in the chat. I see when you guys want these big trades, whether or not it's a big trade for you or not, it's a big trade for me today. That's Amazon, yeah, and Tesla. There's Google. This is the one that I'm actually not even that overly proud of this trade It's just we didn't ever have to worry about that 175 coming in because it just crushed it right off the open. So Google down that 1%. And man, oh man, Tesla's still cooking with gas here as this has been quite the day and quite the move there for TSLA. And it's still early, man. We keep talking about this. It's not even 10:10 yet, 10:08, and Tesla is just now it's 5 in the money right there. I know you got $2. That's a great trade as well. But right now, man, this is really starting to go to the upside and making some money moves is Tesla. And there she goes, man. I told you yesterday, this Tesla v. Apple trade, it ain't dead in the water yet, baby. There goes Tesla up to 183 right now. We're pretty happy as shareholders, and we're pretty happy as a day trader now. This is what we're doing. This is why, Neil, you got to pick the right stocks and hit them at the right time because the NASDAQ ain't done anything yet today, and we've still going to be 4 for 4 UiPath pending here. So you got to figure it out, trade the right names. Notice I've stayed away from NVIDIA and AMD today.
And
Okay.
the UiPath is coming back in. I'm trailing out the top on Tesla. 183 was the target on that stock. I'm on the offer at like 90s. Okay, that didn't happen. So we didn't get 90s. It just trailed back out through 50s. So it got pretty darn close. I was sitting right here. 83 was the target. So once it gets in the zone, we're going to be out of that one. But UiPath starting to come in. I got out of Lucy as well, guys. Lucy, I didn't want to get trapped in any kind of a halt. It did a pullback and broke 110, so I just took it and ran. We had some success in a couple of these names, kind of only taking it when it's strong off $1. So it breaks $1, consolidates off $1, buy the dip into the breakout, holds $1, and then just take the trade and done. Maybe it sets up for another top break, but CRM is starting to come back in here. So, whoops, not CRM. That's the other SSR play. That's still going down, by the way, 20% to the downside. It's UiPath.
Oh, UiPath.
It got to VWAP, which is always a bit of a target zone for an SSR bounce where you find resistance. Now the question becomes, can it hold on to this level again? I've moved my stop to 1190. So if it gets underneath this higher low, I'm out and looking for a re-entry point on UiPath, looking a little bit weak. C3AI was super strong, flushed, broke pre-market lows, right back up to the top, either has to hold a higher low or break out the top again. Now that you've missed the 27 break, you've missed a dip buy into the pre-market high, you don't want to rush into this thing. Up 14%. They did have a decent report. I mean, they're not making money, but I mean, their guidance was okay. And there was definitely some revenue growth there for them as well. So it's what the market thinks at the end of the day. So I'm out. Path didn't break 90.
UiPath?
That didn't break 90. I just got out. Yeah, I just got out at 92.
Remember I got punched in when it didn't break 12 yet? So I feel like there's like a lot of dark pools obviously printing on that.
Well, if you don't mean to get out, now I'm going to pay 3 cents to get back in at 95. So I just got out at 92 on what was supposed to be a 90 break, but obviously it didn't break 90. So I'm going to pay 3 cents to get back in and put the same stop. Now down at underneath 90, it has to go. But same plan as before. Scalp into VWAP, hold at least half the position for a break of VWAP on UiPath. Tesla's starting to pull back a little bit in here. The market's actually looking a little bit weak in here. Oh, there was one more, ONMD. I know a lot of people might have been looking at this. There was a big 320 level. It was a triple top. If you include today, it gives it up. Can it hold the pre-market and the opening range bottom on ONMD for a possible secondary rally? I know this was a popular one in the pre-market, but it had this massive double top from yesterday. Now a triple top on ONMD. It's not done yet, but that's exactly where you would have expected it to sell off. Always be wary of these big rejections when these things go ham. Like they're telling you something, and above $3, the stock doesn't want to have buyers yet.
Yeah, no, we just, so we'll stop and fail on a reload there of Amazon. But again, like this is, we always talk about it, like, you know, you don't let sometimes these great ideas, and I remember I said earlier, when I said we only had 20% left, that's literally what we meant. So when we came back in here, we did put some more on and then dumped it out when we broke through 180 there. So giving some back there on Amazon from its highs. What are we supposed to do? We liked that long. It came back in. We tried it. But we should have been more conscious of the market and what it was doing, because right now it's not doing anything nice. it's actually going down pretty nicely in breaking through 18.7. So, you know, that's something to always look out for. Where are the key levels on the broader market? Because just sitting in here and trading equity against nothing else is very, very dangerous. This is 18.7 right there. So if you break lower, then probably 18.6, 18.650 is coming through. So you do have a little bit more to go right now that since we've broken lower. So I'm going to kind of just like ease back a little bit. Obviously, we have a decent winner here in Tesla. Should have got out upside, but we didn't. We still held on. So we're going to hold on just a little bit more to this. I don't want to get out completely just because the market is moving against us a little bit here. But again, Tesla is on my worry radar. And then we didn't get back into UiPath. We still have the same trade, but it does look like it's coming back down right now, as I don't even know if that's real or not because it's not moving, but we do have 90,000 shares on the bid and it's not breaking. So maybe it's real, but I don't know, the fact that it's not changing size, I'm a little weary of that. But remember, it is short sell restricted. So you can't, there it goes, now it's going down, okay. You can't hit the bid right now unless you own shares. So that's not going to be possible. So someone's gonna have to come in and sell 90,000 shares against that guy, which is very possible. There's ways to engineer all this. So don't think that that's just gonna hold because of that. But again, there it is. It is a nice hold. I'm glad we just showed you that. Bless you, for UiPath. But right now, the market is starting to go a little bit lower. And then just an update on Palantir, because we only have 20% left, our out is a break of 21. So if that breaks 21, we gone on that one. So just a little level of concern there for me, but I'm not really concerned at all. So those are some good trades that we have on right now: UiPath, Palantir, and Tesla. Let's try to hold on to it. Maybe we'll pick up some more Tesla if it bounces.
Yeah, I'm only getting back in a path if I see a higher low get put in. Like, it just came right back underneath the 1190. I didn't have to get back in, but the rule of thumb for me is my stop was supposed to be under 90. It didn't break 90 and I got stopped out, so just punch back into it and give it to the level that you want. If we make a fresh low, I saw someone said in the chat 1170 is a gap. I looked at the daily, I saw 1140 is a bit of a gap level, so that could be, if it makes a lower high, lower low again, that could be a bit of a level, but it's trying to put in the same bottom. I will jump back in the trade. I want tight risk to try to hold for the win. We did not hold on to the arm short. Kind of gave the reasons. At VWAP, it seemed like the right thing to do. It was not the right thing to do. Arm right back into yesterday's bottoms at 119. This could get a little bit spicy, but at this point, I'm not looking to short things at the bottoms. Not when the market is still very much in wait and see, like decide mode. We just made a wick bottom and back above previous opening range support on the NASDAQ. Not a time that I want to be punching short at lows of the day. However, strong stocks and dip buys, that can still be in play. Tesla's getting awfully close to a retest of that 180 level, so let's see if it can get down there. That's the only place right now that I'd like to buy it. Lucy, I was on the bid and did not get filled in front of $1 on that latest dip. Yeah, I was waiting at 2s. It bounced off of 4. I might try to get off this $1 one more time here. Nice bounce on Lucy at 4s. Maybe get 5s and 6s if it comes back. Not a guarantee, but we do like Lucy off this dollar level.
All right, we'll put what we got out at 10s there on UiPath. We'll put some more on right now at 90. So we have an average price now of 99. So we only got out at 15% there. Remember, we told you that. So we'll put on a little bit more now, but it is coming back in just a little bit here. Remember, our out is going to be 70s, 74 break. So right now on UiPath again, I don't want to spend too much time on this other than the fact that I know there's traders looking at it. So, you know, might as well have a quick look and just let you know that I just reloaded it. So that's something there. We do have a new position alert, so let's go over to this one. As where's Travolta? There he is. He's like, okay, now this guy's in Apple. What is this guy even doing? So now we are long Apple, and a good trade again. Hopefully, we'll see. We're going to wait for this. We'll put an offer at 25. That's right where VWAP is. We got a 191 dip buy there, so take advantage of that if we can on this bump. It just went to 191.25, and we didn't even have an offer, and that's exactly where VWAP was. So I would have liked to put in my pocket there 25 cents, but hopefully we get that opportunity again to do that. It does look like Tesla wants to bounce back up a little bit. We'll see if we can respect that 183 level. And then with the bounce of the century, again, it seems like Palantir. We could have reloaded that one down there at 21, which we had talked about again. But we didn't. I was a little nervous about that one. Palantir now starting to, go back up, which is making me quite happy, but not happy is Apple because we should have got out of that one for a little bit of a better price there. I don't know. You've been on CRM. I honestly don't know what it's been doing today.
Still tanking.
Still. Yeah, you were trying. It was holding.
I played at one level. It's just hit the other one.
Okay.
So it literally, I just got into KSS at the same time too. Coles regained 20. So I'm long Coles off 20. We had the long. This is the one that we should have kept on. It's a keystroke error. We'll get into that. I might make this one like the lesson of the day for order entry, but that was a pain in the butt because I got in and out flat. And it was a $2 win. But there's a move into 215, which is the next level for an SSR bounce. I'll get to Coles in a second, but getting into Coles is going to have me miss the 215 on CRM potentially. So we're going to get a stop order underneath 215 on Coles. That is going to be annoying. Sorry, on CRM, that's going to be a little bit annoying, but you just saw it bounce. KSS broke 20 here, held the higher low. So this is the kind of like the better setup for an SSR bounce play where it fail breaks and then immediately consolidates above the 20 level. Going to give it to 20 on this. It just went 1-to-1 and play into VWAP. This time, unlike CRM, I'm going to take the bulk of it out into VWAP. Respect that it does not want to break any higher. It's still a trend to the downside. You have 21, twice it rejected. So if it rejects 21, 20 and a half, I think that's perfectly logical here on Coles. So CRM good bounce off 15, but getting into Coles is going to cost me a chance of getting that one, unless it comes back in and picks me up on Salesforce.
All right, yeah, way to stick with that one. I think that's going to be close to a buy for me, maybe almost even after the show, CRM.
I'm undecided.
So right now, 90, I have to see. I mean, I own the stock from a while ago. I have to see what my situation is on that one. I own too many stocks. All right, Apple, we just took a 15-cent winner. It did go all the way up. Obviously, we got that 90 or 25s. I mean, you can see the tick right there. We were talking about it as we were getting it there, as Neil was discussing. The one thing that we had there was Amazon. It's back to 180. This was the last. So we dip bought Amazon, didn't work. We dip bought Apple. So far, muted on that one. And we have left alone Tesla. I don't know, man. Maybe 182 might just be it for me on that. But I mean, again, if this market can start to rally, then I like all of these levels. You know what? Let's buy a little bit more of Apple here. If we can get in a bid down here, we'll try to take that right now. You see, I just put a small bid here at 04, and I can't even get it. That's crazy that it's trying to hold out for those levels there on Apple. I'm still not, there we go. It's like I'm still not even long. That is ridiculous, but now we are. So, all right, that's what we're doing right now is Apple, waiting to see if we can get a bump. Now, my out on this one is going to be a break of 70. I believe is what we put in. Well, we put in a break of 50, but now that's coming up, so maybe even a little bit there. I want to be very, very careful with this. I don't have any, that's what it is. I don't have any bids until 70 after we break. So if we break lower, we're going to be out of this one, man. I don't want to be in this one for too long. That's going to be Apple. So let's wait to see if it works. Right now, it's still stronger than the market, which is why I like it. And I've talked myself in and out of some pretty good Apple trades before. So let's see if we can do that again right now and watch out for a level here on AAPL. Hopefully holding in and around this 190.70. That's where I'm putting my next tranche all the way there on Apple for 190.70 is where we'll be bidding much, like probably, well, not probably, 4 times the shares of what I have now against this bottom of 190.50.
CRM is the one that got away.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to the small cap recap, but like I said, getting into Coles was at the opportunity cost of not getting CRM bouncing off 215. I am canceling my order. If it gets back down into 216, I don't want it. It's that simple. You know, the play is it makes the bottom at 215. You get the higher low when you get into the trade. UiPath, I'm going to just quickly update. Waited for it to make a bid and then get back in. So I got out, basically in at the same price, but I want to get it on momentum up, not on momentum down. We'll hold on to this. But VWAP, I think we got to get a few more shares out this time on VWAP. Last time I held like 80-something%. This time I'm only going to hold half past VWAP. Let's go to the small cap recap with Adara.
I don't believe I'm trying to break out of the top of this range here. Pretty nice day for the Russell 2000, just below 1% to the upside. So not at all a bad look here for these small caps. Here's the small caps making moves. Some of these are going to be names we've heard of before, including LUCY, back at it again here. Innovative Eyewear. A couple different stories with this one. They announced their Eddie Bauer line yesterday, also announcing that they closed their $2.5 million registered direct offering. That was announced last night as well. So LUCY on watch for sure. Humacyte as well. HUMA, steady move to the upside for this one, announcing they're going to be presenting at the Jefferies Global Healthcare Conference. And last but not least, another conference-related name here, SOBR. SOBR Safe is the name of the company. This one has run in the past, and they're also announcing they're going to be exhibiting at this West Coast Symposium on addictive disorders. So good luck for a lot of these small cap runners today, guys.
Company we really like. Is it? They're the ones. Isn't SOBR the one that has that cool tech with the?
Yeah, it should be the Blow.
With the blow. Yeah.
I think so. I think we had them on our show a while ago.
Yeah, it's really cool technology.
Yeah, I like that tech. Yeah.
Look, man, if you can make money, if you want to solve a problem in the world, create a company that can help solve a problem. And if you make money doing it, all the better. So good on them. Going to be happy to see them have any success as far as I'm concerned. So look, Kohl's is about to get to 2050. Like I said, I'm going to have the bulk of it out in front of the 2050 level. At this point, I have taken out 80%, just a little bit more than that, and then one more leg, and we'll be holding on to only 10% of the trade. UiPath made another press. It's still in the New York. Made another press back up, but could not hold the 12 level. I got one fill at 12, and I had the rest of my orders at 5s and 10s. I might put more at the 12 level the next time through. But that's sober, a good look. We do like these runners when we get a chance. Anytime you have a stock that is this cheap, it has to move. The halt bands are like 75% or 17.5 cents, I think, in
Apple. So we'll cost ourselves a cup of coffee on that one. That's what happens sometimes, you know, you play the news. We've definitely made a lot of money on news before, so the amount of shares that we got out sucks, but I'm happy to do it. I hope you didn't. Are we ready for money talks? Then let's do that, and let's go see what Adair is saying about the USD.
It's an update on the China-Taiwan situation. I've not seen anything on it. Checked right now, but of course we will let you guys know if we see anything right now, though I am not seeing anything on that story on any sources. In terms of the DXY here, bit of a steep move down off of that pretty strong resistance level trying to hold up here at 105.10. We also did get that GDP number quarterly coming in lower than expected once again. So last time we got 1.6 versus 2.5 expected. This time 1.3 versus 1.6 expected. So another lower than expected GDP print here. Slightly higher than expected jobs claims, 219,000 versus 218,000 expected. Pending home sales, though, notably lower here. Negative 7.7% versus negative 1.1% and 3.6% prior. So this is definitely going to be a lower number. Core PCE price is also slightly lower, 3.6% versus 3.7% expected, and versus 2% prior, so a bit of a lower number on those Q1 core PCE prices as well. In terms of upcoming economic data, of course, we do have the PCE, Fed's preferred inflation gauge, coming out tomorrow bright and early at 8:30 a.m. So we'll definitely have to see how those numbers move the market, especially given the amount of Fed speak we've had as of late. We do have at 12:05 Fed's Williams speaking. Fed's Logan speaking tonight at 5 p.m. And then tomorrow we'll get Fed's Boston speaking at 6:15 p.m. So a couple Fed speakers to keep an eye on, but that PCE will be top of mind, guys.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. You know what we didn't remember? So we talked about Disney and Pelts being off the board. That $100 level will into a market which is at the lows. Guess what has been trending up the whole way? Disney. Higher lows the entire day. It's not that it's immune to dropping. It did pull back with the market, but another day and another hold of the $100 level. I think it's got some room. So if we're going to be any strength off this bottom here, Disney, maybe for a VWAP retrace, can look good. I said we're still holding on the I keep wanting to say KISS, but it's Kohl's. It's KSS. Yeah, whatever. You guys know it's Kohl's. But it just broke 20, so I'm now out of that trade. It was a good bounce the first time through. When it did a false break at the 20 level and the higher low. I don't know how much I like it a second time. UiPath is still in the pocket. We're still in the short of arm. But my thoughts are now, if that story is bogus, can Tesla hold again? So as long as there's no corroboration of that story, then you're going to react to it when you hear the headline. You're in the trade. You're at a big support level. It's like it's easy enough to just get out. And if we can find that support again, great. But until that happens, we're going to sit Tesla out here. I need to get back above that 178. AI is at VWAP, Manuel says. I have not made a single trade on a C3 AI, and even this is trending up. So 32% short float. There's a series of higher lows, but also lower highs, so it's forming a bit of a wedge. I kind of said I would take a 28 break on C3 AI, but obviously, it hasn't broken that top. So let's see it get above VWAP, and then we can talk.
All right, we've been buying these dips in Tesla, but we're also going to make sure that we get something out right here on C3A, on UiPath. So there we go, UiPath up, up to 1205 again, stacking up. Again, man, we'll just hit this. All we're sort of doing now is just like, relaxing. We do not have a red mark on our board today, so it's been a good day, and we should have had a lot more, but Apple. I was actually debating shorting this one, but I got to stick with what I'm doing, man. I do not want to short a strong name today. So I'm actually going to. I was just sitting here at 70. Did I get filled there? Oh, I just got filled now. Okay, that's not what I was talking about, but okay. Yeah, no, I was thinking about Tesla.
Executed.
Oh, no, that's right. Sorry, I confused the price with Amazon. Yeah, I am sitting here at 178.30, so I'm hoping for a break of 178. I just took some out there at 178, and again, pretty simple trade for me. Why did we do that? Just because of what Neil mentioned. We are trying to hold underneath right now. We're just long right here, right now, so I want to take a little bit more risk off because if we do dip into this level, I want to buy more. So I want to buy more Tesla here, obviously, so we'll see. Again, it's okay. Like, these are the levels we want to get to. We obviously held that 5% to the upside there. We had 20%. We talked about that. We got out some at 181, and then we are just little silly here. But again, we could have got out here and then we would have missed all of that. So I don't feel too bad about getting out there. It was more like this break right here. As soon as we broke 181, Tesla should have came out. But we're back in it now, so we'll just chill and see what happens there. UiPath, good out for us, at least at 05. It came back again. Very, very disappointing stock of the day for me.
Executed.
UiPath, and we're up on it, so it's tough to say that. But at the same time, we say that because of the expectation that we had. UiPath has done nothing at all since the open. We talked about that flush. It had the sell imbalance, fine. Comes into 1190 and just chills out all day. That's a weird trade for me. So I'm a little surprised at really at what UiPath is doing here today, and thought it would have gone much bigger than this. I do have an offer at 16s, which has been pending. You know how long that's been pending, man? That's been pending since 9:49. So we have an hour and 10 minutes or so that we've been waiting for this level. So I feel like pretty good about staying there and waiting for it, but I don't know if it's going to come through. So right now we're going to have to watch out for UiPath. And here we go, man. Let's just stick with our guns here. Stick with that confidence. Stick with confidence. Thanks to Dara for that. And then here we go, back up to the upside on Tesla. Will it work? I sure hope so, but I do not know. It's Tesla long. We told you we're offering 178.30s, and here we go again, man. Sure, we got a little duped up there on our Apple trade, but says Stone Cold for Tesla. You ain't getting us out of that one right there. Nice move upside now for TSLA. Let's put 40 cents in our pocket.
Yeah, put it in the pocket, let it ride. Tesla was the strongest stock this morning for a while, so bouncing off 78 looks good. I know I forgot about Robinhood. I want to quickly get back to that. It just bounced off VWAP, and I missed it. Unfortunate there. But if we do come back in, it's been riding VWAP all morning long. I think it's respectable. And then Lucy just bounced off a buck again. So I sat it out when it broke $1 to the downside. Now it's right back over a buck. So if it can hold $1 throughout lunchtime, or at least in the next couple of minutes, maybe the next couple of candles, I might get in at 2s and 3s for a scalp trade. And then Sober, which is the one we've totally, I forgot to look at this because we're looking at KSS, obviously UiPath, which isn't really moving as much as I thought, and then Tesla. This held 50 like a champion. It's also riding VWAP, stair-stepping to the upside. 80 cents is the big resistance level on Sober. So as long as the volume holds up, which believe me, the volume is looking pretty good on this, 50 million shares so far, I think buying dips back into 50 cents in VWAP is going to be the play for me. Broken Finance just said Baba's pressing higher. Great. I'm happy, but I haven't looked at Baba today. It was an 80 is the high of the day, 79.96 high of the day in Alibaba. Yet another stock is riding VWAP into a weak market. So, I mean, usually Baba does this, break out the top and then hold VWAP. It's a dip buy throughout lunch at VWAP and scalp it to 80 bucks. I got no issues with that. We'll hop on the bid of Alibaba. Also Robinhood. I'm kind of leaning toward Robinhood actually over Alibaba. Yeah, I like Hood better. I like Hood a little better.
I like Robinhood. We made $1 shorting 81 on Alibaba either yesterday or the day before. So the short is in play for me there too when we get going. What moving averages do I use? Shout out to B in the chat there. What's up, B? Where are you? There you are. What's up? Okay, so pink is 50 period moving average, SMA. I'm just putting that chat back there. Okay, here we go, Tesla. Let's go. Nice little move to the upside now for Tesla. So good move there. We are now 40 cents in the money. Hit the sirens there. We'll take it. We'll take it. Well, we won't take it. We already took it. We'll let it go higher. My offer's at 179. So, all right. Come on, Tesla. Come on down. All right, so right there, that's fifth. So that's the purple, or I don't know how it shows up on your screen, but blue it is on mine. That's VWAP. So that's just a generic VWAP setting that you can put onto your charting software as well. Oh, all of them are very, very simple. 200 is green, 50 is pink, and VWAP there. So this is what we're using over here. And again, the 50 period is something that I've been using on the daily chart forever, and we just implemented it here on the minute chart as well. So it's only 10:59:40. So only 20 seconds left. I just hope that you guys have had a great morning. It's been a great morning, lots of opportunity, despite the market just heading southbound in the last half hour, or maybe last hour. There it goes off of VWAP, nice move down. Remember where the bouncing spot is? We talked about it breaking through 18.7. It did that, and now we're gonna wait for that 18.630-ish area for possible support. So right now it's at 18.650. I got to go for a walk, call the wife again, but it should be a good one here. As here comes Tesla back down a little bit. It's a good thing we took out a little bit of profit there, but there is now oil numbers coming out. Sorry, gas futures out right now. The market's tanking. There must be news here on Tesla.
Yeah.
Nice move down for Tesla. Let's go back over then, I guess, and wrap this thing up. So
It's that time of day. So crude oil numbers just came out. I guess it was, I thought I heard oil, but I guess it's going to be gas. But it is 11 o'clock. We'll be back at 2. The market headed back into
Tesla.
the lows of the day and looking a little bit sick. So we'll get that headline. If there were any headlines just there, I don't see or hear anything.
Feel
But there
like
was
there
just
was.
another press through the low of the day on the futures. I just got in and out of Tesla quickly. I only have one short on. But let's get to Sharif and Adara. I see Adara short. That's probably a good thing on Google.
yeah, what was up with that?
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade. Micro player, market sniper, B. Davis, TH, Ronaldo, Fat Figure. What up, my man? Paul Goodson. We also have Mix Master JT, Mateus Lane, Discipline Trades. I love that name. Krishna. We got Chuck of all trades. Big Adam Deleuze. What's up, my man? Alec B, Swade, Robert Woods, Aaron, and Joanna Brewster, Pitchbull. We got everybody, baby. Well, it's just moving too quickly now. I can't get. We got Rami Rahim and Oscar Kaufman. Everybody in the chat, good morning, Adair.
Good morning to you, Sharif, as well. Someone was calling us Lady A and Big C. How are you doing today?
I like that. That's
I thought it
pretty
was
good.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you up to? How's it going?
I'm all right. You know, keeping an eye on Tesla. The Katina man was yelling about Tesla absolutely crashing down. He is not wrong at all. We were on our way up. It looks like to 178.5, and down it goes in a hurry. Tesla is almost negative on the day. 176 and a fifth is the line in the sand. That's where we closed out yesterday. We've just broken that now. Tesla looking to go negative on the day, although marginally. Look for a possible bounce at this level. This is yesterday's closing price. I'm not going long. By the way, guys, today I'm in the sim. I did the exam. It's all done. It just takes a couple of days to turn around and allow me to trade back live. So today, hopefully, last day in the sim, and then tomorrow we'll be live again. But yeah, 176.20. Low of the day and yesterday's closing print on Tesla. Derek,
Yeah.
I see some triangles.
RIP Tesla. That is a rough look there. I have a trade. It didn't work out, but I liked taking it. So basically what happened was I looked at Google. I saw this consolidation, and I said, yes. What did I say yes to? I don't know. I like the short. I like the range. I thought we were consolidating for a breakdown because look at these kind of lower lows. I was like, oh, perfect. This looks like a breakdown. Good times. Take it short. Whew. I don't know what that voice was, but I like that look. Then, and it's funny, right as I get in, Sharif's like, hey, did you see Google? Because I think he just knew this would be the type of chart I would love. We got almost to 173s, then we bounced right back up with the viciousness. Initially, we rejected at 173.20, so I did add a little bit. Once we broke above 173.30s decisively, I got out. If we continue to kind of see that 173.20 level, there could be a play for me here, but I do not like that we kind of actually even have higher lows in this consolidation. So with that pop in mind, I might have to politely decline Google for now, but that doesn't mean there aren't opportunities later. And I mean, to me, this consolidation was so good, I would have been kicking myself had I not tried it. But you know what else is really fun to try while you're trading? or the futures.
Yeah, I know. Just be careful, though, because some of these will wipe you out.
Yeah, we should have probably worded that transition better.
And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the tick values, how much money you need, everything ready there to go. So let's get to it, baby. We're talking about the futures all week long. Today, we'll talk about the different vehicles, the different trading instruments that you can use to get in on the future. Already see it prefaced right there in the subtitle. So let's go. Intraday futures trading offers leveraged exposure to the underlying markets, but it requires a strong understanding of each instrument's quirks. Here's a breakdown of the popular options that are typically looked at by traders. So the underlying instruments, these are contracts. These are what we call the futures contracts. There is the NQ, which is the E-mini NASDAQ 100. This tracks the NASDAQ 100, the top 100 names on the NASDAQ, a stock market index of, you guessed it, 100 large non-financial U.S. companies. That is actually a requirement. I didn't know that, funny enough. The ES is the E-mini S&P 500. It tracks, you guessed it, the S&P 500, a stock of the market index of the 500 leading U.S. companies across various sectors. We'll talk about more about that as we go on. The ETFs that give you a vehicle into the futures, exchange-traded funds, okay, that you can trade. These are non-levered. The first one is the triple Qs, the QQQ, which is the Invesco QQQ Trust. This tracks, again, the NASDAQ 100, similar to the NQ, but as an ETF. An ETF is essentially a basket of securities. It is kind of a new version of mutual funds, ones that can be traded on an exchange, hence exchange-traded funds or products. ETFs are part of the ETPs category, exchange-traded products. And then there's a SPY. Big Kyle absolutely loves the SPY. He's always going long and short on the SPYs, which is the Spider S&P 500 ETF Trust. It tracks the 500 S&P 500 index, very similar to the ETS, but again, as an ETF. Then you have your leveraged ETFs. Sean loves the TQQQs. There's also people that love the SQQQs on the floor over here. So the TQQQs is the ProShares Ultra Pro QQQ. A lot of pro there. I don't know why. It provides a 3 times daily levered returns on the Qs. Essentially, it's amplifying your gains and losses to the tune of 3 times. Very similar look to the SQQQs, the ProShares Ultra Pro Short QQQ. It provides a negative 3 times daily leverage returns on the triple Qs, excuse me. It profits essentially when the triple Qs fall and loses when it rises. It's an inverse ETF. And here are some peculiarities and differences between these boys. So the indexes, the NQ, the ES versus the ETF. So the NQ and the ES are futures contracts. They expire on specific dates. No such thing for the ETFs. The Qs and the SPYs do not have expiration dates. They offer a more continuous holding, okay? The leverage products, the TQQQs, the SQQQs, they magnify daily returns to the tune of 3 times, both up and down. But they're riskier and they're not really suitable for long-term holding due to the compounding effects of their makeup. So keep that in mind. These are not ones that you should be holding for a prolonged period of time. I'm not saying overnight's wrong, but the market cap, very important here. The NQ focuses almost exclusively on large cap tech. The ES does no such thing. The ES is very much weighted to the 500 top companies across all sectors, okay? So gives you a more, distributed market exposure, whereas the NQ gives you a really big tech heavy approach there. What's going on here? Who is this? Okay, and here are 2 images, thanks to Dara, showing the NQ and the QQQ giving different signals at different times. So sometimes they don't jive, and you just need to be cognizant of that. And if you're going to trade one, chart off that one. Don't chart off the other like me. I trade the TQQQs and chart off the NQ. Maybe not a good idea. Okay, and some intraday considerations that you need to take into account before choosing which futures instrument to use. Liquidity, very important. The NQ and the ES, highly liquid. These guys are being used by the institutional players who want to hedge. So there's ample amount of liquidity in these guys. Nary will there be a time when you don't actually get the price posted there, and the spreads on them will be quite tight as well, okay? Making them easier to enter, easier to exit as well. The leverage TQQQ and SQQQ can have, though, a bit of a wider spread because of their leverage nature. So you need to be cognizant of that. And volatility. The NQ and the TQQQs can be more volatile due to their tech-heavy composition. The ES and the SPY, they give you, a broader, potentially less volatile alternative. So if you're not looking for that volatility, as Adara used to say, maybe the SPY and the ES more suited down your alley. And I want to talk about trading each instrument. So the core mechanics of buying and selling are similar for all these instruments. However, consider the following factors. For the NQ and the ES, focus more on price movements. And there's also a bigger difference with respect to margin requirements, which is your initial deposit to hold a position. And there's also contract expiration dates. So you need to be very aware of how much money you have to have in the bank in order to trade these two, because you may not be able to. The Q and the SPY, they're similar to the NQ and the ES as we talked about. They don't have expiry dates, but consider the expense ratios, which are annual fees associated with ETFs. We've all heard about ETF decay. It applies here as well. The TQQQ and the SQQQ, due to their leverage, focus on short-term holdings to avoid compounding effects, strictly manage risk with stop-loss orders, and be cognizant that the spreads on these levered products can be a little bit wider at times, okay? And I didn't add this to the lesson, but I'm gonna mention this on the second time around. We're gonna talk a little bit about contracting size and tick value, how much money you make or lose based upon the increasing or decreasing ticks on the futures contracts. We'll get to that after Neil drops his hotlines on his lesson of the day, Adair.
Yes, we love lessons of the days. We do love hotlines as well over here on how to trade. Thank you so much, Sharif, for delivering that lesson there. And yeah, I think the SQQQs, one thing as well I will say as someone who did trade those for a little bit is it can kind of be a little bit of a mind warp. So it'll be like watching the Qs go down and then you're like, woo, you know what I mean? So I would just say always, it's certainly an interesting one, but the SQs can be fun to trade. There can be some opportunities. You may be asking, why is Adara short AMD? I may also be asking that, but I want to explain why I did this trade because I did have my reasons. So it's funny, I had this on my side chart, and right as I noticed this double bottom, I was like, I have thoughts. Then I see someone in the chat also mentioning the double bottom on AMD here, and I'm like, this is an interesting one. Why do I think it's short with this double bottom? I think, as Sharif often says, you have to look at things with the balance of the evidence. I struggled for a little bit. I had a whole, emotional violin string, movie climax moment over here where I was like, what do I do? With the dramatic old music playing in the background, because I like the look of this. I was cognizant of that double bottom, but I said, Adara, you generally have lower lows here. We're rejecting off the 90 MA. Take a small position. Take a smaller-ish position. It's not like teeny tiny, but, it's not huge. And then just try to trade it the way you feel most comfortable in. I do like this as a short, and I know I didn't have to take this trade, mind you, but I watched in the book, I said, I want to see what we do around 60s. We got to 60s, and we slowed down considerably. Since then, we've touched into 80s twice. As I say that, we touch it again. But generally, I'm watching what we do with that 90s area. Every time we get to 80s or 85s, we go back down, right? So I'm comfortable with the AMD trade for now. Very cognizant of the risk, very cognizant of the double bottom, but you got to go after what you love. So not like I love AMD or anything, but I like the setup, and that's what matters. Also, Google, I flipped long. I just played a quick pop here for 18 pennies. Please just punch. If we keep popping and bouncing around this range, there may be some more ranges for me to play in. Also, shout out to Kyle Burdett, mentioning this this venti drop here on Starbucks, bit of a double top. I like this double top as a short, but also I'm cognizant for myself, for my own purposes, because I am not a super short scalper there like Mr. Kyle Burdett. I think these kind of higher lows and this 90 MA bounce are interesting, so I don't know if Starbucks is what I would play right this second, but shout out to you, Kyle. Thank you for pointing it out. It is on my side chart. And AMD, go AM down. How are you doing?
Here is what I want to look at. So again, guys, I'm in the sim today. Okay, we'll hopefully be live tomorrow. Had to do that compliance, that yearly compliance test, got it done today, but still don't have access to live. So hopefully tomorrow. All right, the soft one, I've been looking at Microsoft a lot more lately. I like the way it trades relative to the moving averages on the 5. That has been a continuous observation of mine. So here it is. Initially, we had that dump down, a little bit of a recovery. Lo and behold, the highest print to the 20, but all the closing prints south of the 10 EMA on the 5, the 20 EMA on the 5, okay? And then we tank 417.60. We move up right into the 10 period, reject off the 10 period again. Now we're doing a dance where we got above the 10 period. Let's see if we close above the 10 period, because what I'll be looking at is that 420. Shout out to all the people out there. Katina, man, hit it. There he is. Thanks, Dale. Thanks, guys. So if we get into the 420 area where the 200 period is, the 20 period's hanging out, I'm going to be looking to short the soft one at that level. MSFT, I'm looking short off the 20 period. We'll see what we get for that name. Apple seems to me to be the strongest of the bunch on the day. We'll see if that lasts, because I feel there's a lot more trading rather than investing happening in Apple these days. You'll be able to see exactly that by watching how it trades into the close. How many times have we watched Apple retrace its gains all day into the closing show, where it basically either comes down a little bit below 190 or just closes a skosh above 190. A lot of trading on Apple these days. That's my observation. Now, let's get to the small cap gappers, or the non-Mag 7 names, because there are some non-small cap gappers. Obviously, CRM is involved in that. So I'm keeping up Lucy from yesterday. It seems to have a lot of respect for yesterday's closing print at 95 pennies. It's still doing that fight, the $1 fight, a little bit above, a little bit below. You see it cleared it by some distance today, getting above $0.25, but down we went again into 95 pennies. So we'll see if Lucy is able to stay above that buck, or if we're able to take any key trades off this. I love the fact that it rejected the closing print from yesterday in the pre-market and then used that exact level after the bell in order to hold support. So Lucy looks good, and I left it as a holdover from yesterday. HUMA, another small cap gapper that's showing up on my chart today. It doesn't have a whole lot of volume, I'll just tell you that. 3.2 million shares on a $9 name, just ain't cutting it. This one isn't really a small cap gapper either. It's a $1.1 billion market cap. The float is as follows: 81.5 million shares, and I didn't load up trade ideas. That's exactly what I forgot today. So we'll load that bad boy up, and we'll get you the short float, if any, on HUMA. So I'm keeping tabs on that. Up and to the right it goes. This one hasn't even broken the 10 yet. So HUMA on watch. Momo on watch as well. MOMO. What is this stock? Let's find out.
Oh, Hello Group. It's Hello Group.
$1 billion market cap Adara, so another non-small cap gapper on the bigger side. Again, shallow volume today, 2.5 million shares done in a $5 name. Not exactly ideal. The float on this one is 280 million shares, so this one could take some shareage here in order to get going to the high side. Let's now load up trade ideas and find out what the short float is on Momo and Huma. Let's load up that super quick. HUMA, 4 2/3 on HUMA, and then Momo is 2.2. So, you know, not negligible, but not anything huge like what we were seeing yesterday on some of these names. So MOMO on watch as well. CRM is a short until it breaks, I guess, the 10 or the 20. It hasn't broken either. So keeping an eye on CRM. ONMD, keeping an eye on that one, but that one is sinking below the volume weighted average price, so I'm less inclined to trade that. So is SMFL. That's a holdover from the pre-market. It does seem to be finding a bit of a base at that 200 on the 5, so we'll keep tabs on all these, Adair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also clearly keeping tabs on Google. Tabs, pun intended, like you could have tabs open on Google. It actually wasn't intended, but I'll take it. So yeah, you might be like, Adara, you've been long, short, and all around here on Google. What are you doing with this name? And I don't know, maybe a hypothetical question here, but I did initially like the short, right? Like my initial plan for Google was the short. I saw this consolidation range, and this range was such, to use a Sharifism sometimes, an Adara Panera type range, that Sharif was even like, hey, so Adara, Google? Like, before he even knew I was in it. So this is certainly, it's the type of look I like, I'll put it that way, right? Tried this short, didn't work out, managed it, fine, whatever. Then I switched long, because I was like, okay, the long worked out, but now I'm back to short. Why am I back to short? Because we did have that little wick here around this, where was this, 173.20s, and then we sold off a little bit. I was like, okay, there's something on Google here. I think it's a short. We have not decisively broken above that 173. If we get into 173.15s, that's kind of a level of support and resistance I like on Google, on mostly the book, but also a little bit the chart, kind of the midpoint of this little chop and churn area. So that is the area I will be playing. I have enough shares that I can actually kind of hang out and take pieces out of this position, which is something that's kind of been working for me. I do need to be scalpier, so I'm really trying to either take scalps on names that have those bigger moves, or if it's gonna be kind of a more defined range move, I'll be taking pieces in and out as I go. So I'm looking for 83s for the first part of my position out on Google. If we break lower, I'll be able to get low. So that will be the goal. Manuel Palma mentioning PYPL. I had an area I liked at PYPL, but I haven't looked at it in a while, so I don't know if it's still here. Yeah, no, I kind of more like that very tight. Was it in the 3 minute? There was a range in which I liked. Yeah, okay, so here it is. So I kind of like this 62.20 to 62.90-ish area. Yeah, relative strength, and I agree, Manuel Palma. We had a nice little Mizuho upgrade for this one. They also announced that their what is this? They have this PYUSD chain thing on the Solana as well. So that nice look. I know clearly not a lot about crypto. We have this nice bounce here off VWAP. We've seen that continued bounce. The thing is, we do have a slightly lower high here. I don't know. I think PayPal is kind of a range trade. I'm just not really sure what the ranges are as they continue to develop. So I'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Google, getting me that Google search to the downside there. Meta also, I want to shout out Kyle Burdett. This is what I was looking at as well. And then Kyle messaged saying that he's interested in that 467.50 area. I kind of like 467.20s just for myself, just areas I like. But I think, yeah, that 467.50 does give you definitely a better price. I have no committed area on Meta here yet for myself. I'm just keeping an eye on it. I definitely think I am most obsessed with Google. Also, not like I want to short Tesla. Also, I initially drew this because I was like, oh, we'll have a little bit of a move down here. Yeah, no, so I'm going to delete these lines because they're completely moot points here on Tesla, and I drew them in the pre. But yeah, this Tesla, if we reject this 176.50 area, this actually could be an interesting short. I have no qualms about shorting Tesla low of day if there's opportunities to do so. Clearly, I'm a little bit short biased, but right now we're doing okay. Also, I forgot to mention this, but I did get out of AMD where I planned on boring trade. How are you doing?
Good. I want to answer Adam's question. He's like, what does the ES stand for? I mean, the S&P, where's the E? Like, where's it coming in? So apparently this is it, Adam. E stands for the E-mini, because it's the E-mini. Oh. And then the S is just the S for the Standard & Poor's. And then they didn't call it ESP. Maybe because it's like extra sensory perception. I don't know. ES is what they went for there. They don't want to call it ESP, Katina, man. Oh, electronic? It's E-mini. Oh. Yeah, well, electronic, yeah, E, that's what it stands for.
I like
that. The E-mini S&P 500, according to Gemini. So that is the look there. So we'll keep tabs on that. So what I'm looking for here is a retracement on Softy into 420. I still haven't gotten it, so I'm gonna just pack my patience for that. Did you have anything you want to say?
No, I was just gasping at Google. I have no comments. I'm just happy with Google.
Okay,
but
cool.
I don't have anything I need to say, no.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on these bad boys. I'm also inclined to look for Tesla along here. So now what we did was we came into that area that we closed out yesterday, that 176 area, and then we found a bit of a base. It's not really retracing as aggressively to the high side as it did to the downside, that's for certain. But I just want to see exactly how we dance at this 176 area. It's pivots as well as the yesterday closing print. So I'm going to keep my eye on this area and then look to go long. It did defend that 175 and change, 175 3/4, 175 2/3. Quite well with bottoming tail candles. First, you got a doji, and then we're getting nice candles to the high side here. So I could be persuaded to get into Tesla, especially possibly into that 178 area, Katina man. I think he's long Tesla as well. I'm going to guess at 175.75. 175.78.
Yes.
So yeah, this one is headed to the high side. I like it to 178 area. We definitely had a lot of interaction with that 178, both in the pre when that news came out about whatever, and then again we consolidated there on the way down at around 1045. So Tesla looks good to me here.
Yeah, Tesla, I'm very happy I didn't decide to take my, we'll go short Tesla 176.50s. Yeah, happy I didn't do that. Tesla could be a nice little long here. Not my type of trade, but I'm really happy with what Google did. I'm so happy I saved a piece for the dream because I was able to kind of get that little wick here as we got into low of day, that 172, where was this, 172.69s. I'm really proud of myself, I have to say. Please just punch. Got out the first part of the position at 83s, then I ended up getting the last part at 85s when we pushed back up here. That being said, if we keep projecting 173, I'll kind of want to play this how I played Tesla yesterday and just do these rinse and repeat rejection shorts. I am short biased, so I mean, I will trade long. I had a long at Google earlier, but I find for whatever reason, I think I'm more on the ball, and I feel like I trade better when I go short. I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's psychological. Maybe I should like journal this to find out. But I think usually I feel better in short setups, so we'll have to see how that goes. I did try to take this long on AMD though. I wanted 164.80s, and I press my order. I go to monitor my little Google, and then by the time I look back at AMD again, seconds later, it's already up to 165.20. So I said, clearly AMD does not want me on this ride to the upside, so that's okay. If we keep bouncing here, which we really do at this 165, AMD is a long for me. I've really only been looking at these two names apparently. Also though, that Tesla rejection I was looking for is, I don't know if it's kind of coming in. I don't want to go short Tesla still unless I have like so much confidence and so much confluence here. But I do not dislike this pause I'm seeing at 176.50 because that was a level I liked earlier. Also, I want to look at Patty AAP was saying, oh, no PDD today. And I was like, you know what, I haven't even really looked at PDD today. So we'll take a look here. Oh, hi PDD. I like this. I love this VWAP breakdown. I love that it's happening at 153.30s. Why do I love that? Because, you know, Sharif was saying yesterday, I really agree, VWAP's just a level, right? It's about what you do with VWAP, or if there's things that make sense with VWAP. Look at how we had this earlier area around 153. Now it's coming into confluence with VWAP. Lower highs, flat bottom. I think short. I think short. I want to short PDD. So I think that will be the goal. Thank you, Patty, for reminding me of this guy, PDD. Right now, though, yeah, just probably looking for some more Google opportunities. AMD, PDD. How are you doing?
Good. Looking to get short on the Zon here. I'm liking a lot of the setups that are coming in on some of these Mag 7 names because what I'm seeing is like a curl back into moving averages. So Amazon just had a topping tail candle through the 20. I originally had my you can call it a pop trade, I guess a dip trade, whatever, at VWAP. I was like, okay, this looks interesting. It's been rejecting off the 10 umpteen amount of times. It hasn't touched the 20 as of yet, and it was really going through the 20 there. So I'm like, all right, put your short at the volume weighted average price. But I'm like, okay, I'll just take a smaller position here, and then I'll look to DCA into VWAP since they're both really close together, where I'm talking about the 20 and VWAP on the 5. So short Amazon at this level. I didn't get my Microsoft short, sadly, didn't make it up to 420, even though the 20 period came down a little bit into that 419 3/4. I'm seeing a very similar setup coming in here on META at 468. It's also a 20 period retracement on the 5, so I could absolutely be persuaded to get into that as well. Let's take off Apple here because I'm not really trading Apple as of yet. So we'll look for a Meta retracement. This area is 468, but you know, you got to front run it a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll hang out in the low 90s. The end of the trade for me is going to be the break of 468.5. It looks like I may not even get filled here as it's on its way down again. 468.5 is going to be the area where I want to get out. That was the consolidation area bottom that we put in from around 950 till really tanked at 1035. So if we break above that level, I don't think my trade is accurate any longer. So we'll look to keep both those on tap. So looking here for the DCA to come into the Zon at VWAP. The other trade that I've got set up, guys, is the dip trade into Tesla here at 176 and a third to get a better price. I'm looking for a 178 retracement. We'll see if that one comes in. So those are the trades that I'm currently looking at right now. Tesla looking for a dip trade long. Meta looking to go short at the 20 period on the 5 and short Amazon at this level. The end of the trade on Amazon for me is going to be the break of 180 and a half.
Well, yeah, nice look there on Amazon. I feel like also I want to shout out because you've been like, I like you're killing it with the Microsoft. So you were saying, oh, I've been trading Microsoft more lately. Yeah, you go with you had like over $1 winner yesterday on Microsoft. I think
It was, yeah, it was in the sim, but you know, it's all good.
Still got to celebrate. But yeah, no, I mean, I just want to shout that out because I think that's awesome there.
Appreciate you, Derek.
Yeah, no, appreciate you. Always happy to be here. Appreciate everybody here. Also, will I appreciate PDD? Will the P's and appreciate stand for PDD? I don't know. That worked better in my head. But I do like this short. Like I said, I enjoy a flat bottom break. I enjoy a quadunk off this VWAP level. We're gonna have to wait and see if it actually comes to fruition. What trade am I? Oh, I got my Google. I was like, what's happening? Yeah. So Google, I got back involved in here. This is basically just going to continue to be me taking this out as we get to the bottoms of these defined ranges that I like. I don't know if we're gonna see it pop back up in Google. If we break decisively above 173, bye, bye, bye. I'm not gonna be in sync with you anymore. Also, my Tesla short did not work out, but I'm super proud I took it because A, I'm happy with the management, and B, I was obsessed with this. I was like, Dara, you know you're gonna regret this trade if you don't take it. You were waxing, you were like, blah, blah, blah. Tesla 176.50 short. So I said, Dara, take your Tesla 176.50 short, take it with a small position.